Just off Highway 22 in Salem, behind a Denny's parking lot, sits this nondescript building. It looks like an office, but it's the new Oregon State Treasury. It may not look like much from the outside, but step through the lobby doors and this place is more than meets the eye.
Our intent was an exercise in imagination.
Oregon's Deputy State Treasurer, Michael Kaplan, took us on a tour. The building, constructed to withstand disasters from the predicted 9.0 Cascadia subduction zone earthquake to fires, wind and ice storms, and civil unrest.
This building needs to be able to operate without the support of the local electricity grid or without the support of our water utility.
The roughly 34,000 square foot building is designed to go full island mode. 80 to 100 Treasury staff could shelter and work here in a disaster for at least 96 hours, maybe longer.
The idea here is that we can withstand virtually anything. We generate our own power. We have a battery backup system. We have backup diesel. We have auxiliary well, as I mentioned.
The first stop on this walking tour is the feature keeping the building safe and operational if and when the big one hits.
So where we're arriving right now is access to the base isolators. What a base isolator does is it lifts the building and then puts an elastic layer in between where the building is anchored to the ground and the actual structure itself.
All right, we're headed down into the basement now where the base isolators are located. They're meant to reduce shaking in the event of an earthquake by up to 75%. Think of these base isolators as really big shock absorbers.
The building can move, and in this case, 18 inches horizontally, 1.5 feet in any direction. So it can absorb the shaking and the energy of the earthquake.
So you may have heard this building doesn't even touch the ground. That's what the base isolators are for. This is a prime example of that. This is an elevator shaft, and it doesn't touch the foundation. Out of the basement and into the rest of the building, the exposed piping above is noticeable.
Also allows us to see what's going on with the ductwork right after an earthquake.
And these windows can withstand impact if there's civil unrest. They also bring in more natural light to reduce energy consumption, allowing backup power sources to last longer. Speaking of power, our next stop, the roof.
So a major resiliency feature is our ability to generate our own electricity. So we do that primarily through solar. Additionally, as a sustainability feature, so far we are not consuming energy off the grid. We're actually contributing to it. So we've only been open a month, but we're below net zero actually.
So why make the Treasury building disaster resistant?
If we had a disaster and FEMA wanted to send money to Oregon, if the Treasury's not up, we can't accept that money. So we are literally right at the heart of everything that comes into or goes out of the state. So nothing functions statewide from a finance perspective if we're not here.
The Treasury is actually a tenant here, leasing the space from, in this case, a developer who pumped about $40 million into the roughly 2-year building process.
We're planning to be here for 100 years.
The building may be finished, but the planning continues. Staff is stockpiling drinkable water, emergency food, and satellite phones.
We have to make investments. We have to take the risk to do these types of things to prepare for that, what we know is inevitable.
So when we talk about resiliency, the whole idea is to be able to continue to serve Oregonians despite whatever natural disaster may happen. And it's not just the structure of this building that's dedicated to Oregonians. The artwork inside is as well. This, a hand-painted mural, an homage to Indigenous cultures and Indigenous land. In Salem, Pitawanich, KGW News.